My husband chose the dog over me, and it ruined our marriage.
Dogs are pretty cool.
There's a trigger warning for emotional abuse. My husband said if he ever had to choose to let either me or his parents' dog live, he would choose the dog. Now I'd like to leave.
Huh?
Well, yeah, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad, not gonna lie.
This was just something that just came up.
It's like, yeah, babe, if you or my parents' dog were dangling off a cliff, I would save the dog. So that then he could hang on to my leg and pull me back as I lifted you up. Maybe that's what he meant.
Sure.
My husband is watching 2 out of 4 of his parents' golden retrievers during Christmas. They are old and sweet, and one of them can barely walk. I'd always loved his parents' dogs. The other night, he let me know that it is priority that the dogs get to sleep on the bed, and I'll either need to sleep on the guest bed or move my legs for the dog. And by the way, this comes from user alarmingsquirrel129. If you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/okstorytime subreddit. I'm Dakota.
I'm Carly.
I'm Keon.
And we're here to give you good advice goofily. But we don't have all the answers. We only know what we do. So if you would do something different, let us know in the comments, as OP says. I asked why they couldn't sleep on the guest bed or floor. He said because they're used to always sleeping with him. He was single and living with his parents until he met me at age 34, so the dogs slept on his bed nightly. We got married last February, and he left the dogs at his parents'. It is a queen bed, and the golden is huge, so he takes up most of it. Honestly, I'm sorry, but this is kind of a red flag.
Dakota hates dogs.
No, it's a red flag that you won't move your legs so the dog can sleep in the bed.
True.
Right? Am I wrong?
No.
It's just
you
a
made it
little
sound
thing.
like
You
the red
just
flag
have to
was that
move
the
your
dog
legs.
took up the bed. That's why I said it.
All you have to do is move your legs. He won't move when gently pushed and likes to place himself in the middle of the complete left side of the bed. My husband told me not to make him move or shove him, but to work around him. When I gently laid my leg on top of the dog, he said it was too heavy for the dog. Now that is a load of hooey. It's a golden retriever. It is a large dog.
It's a big dog.
Your leg is not suffocating the golden retriever.
And if the golden was uncomfortable, he would move.
Yeah, and honestly, if your leg on the dog is suffocating the dog should not be in the bed then, because the dog seems like everything would be at risk to the dog's well-being. My husband got to sleep stretched out on his bed. The first morning I woke up wanting to pass away. The dog's massive weight had contorted the bed enough to bend my back backwards. I must have slept in a semi-backbend position all night. I asked him to switch places with me, and he did so to prove a point. 5 minutes after laying on the dog's half of the bed, my husband wails in pain like something sharp has stabbed him in the back. He changed positions, but I insisted he sleep on the dog's side because I was so sore. Before we went to sleep, I listened to him whisper sweet nothings to the dogs. He wouldn't even touch me when they are around. Sometimes we'll be out at a restaurant and he'll stare off with teary eyes. When I ask what's up, he says he misses his dogs. Multiple times I will ask him what he's in deep thought about, and he says it's his dogs.
This can't be real.
This guy loves his dogs. They're not even his dogs. They're his parents' dogs.
He probably grew up with
grew
them.
up.
Probably
I mean,
grew up with
clearly,
them, yeah.
he's been around him for a long
That
time.
would be like saying Mia's not your dog.
Me is my dog. I love that dog.
Can I pet that dog?
I want to pet that dog.
Can I pet that dog?
Can I pet that dog?
I asked him if he wanted to snuggle, and he said no. He kept making comments about how he's sad his dogs don't have more room. I finally said, kind of joking, that I feel sometimes he loves his dogs more than me, and he got quiet.
Oh my god.
I said, oh my god, do you? Silence. Are you serious? He finally sighed and said, oh, well, they are my babies. They're my everything.
Dang.
Brother, you had
He
the
just
layup.
said, you mean nothing to me.
That's the easiest. Of course I love you more than the dogs. I just love the dogs a lot. They're like my kids.
Which means I love you even more than that.
Yeah. If you were gone, I would be even more sad. I was stunned. I was hit with a flash bang. I asked if he was serious, and he said, yes. I asked if we were in a life-threatening situation, is he choosing me or the dogs? He got quiet again and told me, well, that's not a fair question because that would never happen.
That could totally happen. There could be a fire.
There's a fire. Who do you save, the dogs or your actual wife?
Oh my god.
I save the dogs so that I can tell the dogs, go get my wife. And then they go, ruff! And then they go drag my wife out of the house because my dogs are exceptionally well trained.
Naturally. And then it's just tiny little Mia trying to drag a huge puppy.
I have a herd. I have 29 chihuahuas.
I feel like 29 chihuahuas could do it.
29 chihuahuas working as
in
a
unison?
like ants
Yeah.
together.
They could do that.
He could. I insisted on my hypothetical question, and he finally admitted he would choose to let me pass away over the dogs. Oh, and my daughter.
You guys have a daughter?
I think she maybe has a daughter. His stepdaughter.
Okay.
Still
Still.
one of the
A child.
like I wonder if this really I can't imagine anyone really saying this. This has got to be like maybe this guy just wanted the relationship to end and he's like, this is a perfect, ridiculous opportunity for me to force my partner into breaking up with me so I don't have to have the, emotional weight of being the guy who breaks up the relationship. Oh man, I just had like a hiccup. Did you hear that? I'm sorry, everybody. That was, I'm sure, weird. Okay, I was visibly upset and shocked. I said, do you even love me? And he got quiet, and I asked again, and there was silence. He finally got annoyed and said, but of course he does. And that he only hesitated because it was a stupid question.
That's not a stupid question. You have a stupid answer, dude.
Dude, that's a stupid question in a vacuum, maybe. Not after you said, I would save the dogs instead of you.
Right.
That's a very valid question to ask after you say that. He then said he was kidding about the dog stuff and only answered that way to show me those were stupid questions. Guys, he wasn't kidding. I really believe no part of that was a joke. Am I the a-hole? And we do have an update. Yeah, it sounds like he answered honestly and then realized that was a huge mistake and is now trying to be like, no,
Wait.
babe, you don't understand. Actually, I was just using my galaxy brain to make you understand how dumb that question was.
Yeah.
Because of course I would save you instead of the dogs.
I would be very sad and mad.
I mean, I gotta say, like, if it's like a house fire situation, and I'm like, you're okay, you're good, I don't need to, like, you're not incapacitated,
Yeah.
You get out of the house.
I think the situation that
go,
was given
get her.
was like,
Get out.
neither of us can move to get out of the house.
Yeah.
Who are you dragging out?
It's like a Harvey Dent versus Rachel situation, and you're like, you can only save one. He's like, I'm saving the dogs.
Yeah.
She's like, what? What? Wait, what did you just say? What? And folks, this is really all that, let it be known, all this is a product of a bad night's sleep, okay? She didn't sleep well. She's real grumpy. I'd be grumpy.
this
If I don't
was
sleep
just
well,
her
I get
saying,
grumpy.
Hey, the dogs are staying on your side of the bed tonight.
Yeah. Never get in the way between your partner and a good night's sleep, okay? That is the moral of this story right now. Maybe he even
Keon
answered that.
immediately stared at me. What are you staring at me for?
What?
You're the one that never sleeps.
Exactly.
This is all from a lack of sleep. All this is lack of sleep. Lack of sleep, that's all this is. He doubled down yesterday morning and said he only answered that way because I was being ridiculous. Last night, I was sick, exhausted. My throat was swollen, my back hurt, and I had gotten 2 hours of sleep the night before. I told you it was lack of sleep. When I went to go to sleep, both dogs were on the bed. I asked if we could lift the dog that can't walk well to the floor, since that's where he likes to sleep as he can't get on or off the bed alone. He got up to try to gently move him to the floor, but the golden didn't prefer it, so my husband instantly gave up. The dog is taking up the lower left corner, at least a quarter or more of the bed. I asked if he could gently insist the dog get on the floor. He explained that he will need to move to the floor later in the night, but he doesn't feel like it currently, so no. The dog got to stay. The second dog was stretched out, consuming the entire right half of the bed. My husband laid between them, spooning him. That left a small 2-foot by 3-foot area in the upper left corner of the bed for me, and I wasn't allowed to accidentally let my foot touch them in a way that could put pressure on them. I lost my crap at this point. I started telling him this was insane, to grow up and actually put me first, or go marry your dogs. You can't put your golden through slight discomfort and move them to the floor so your sick wife can sleep? He responds with, move to the guest room. I would be choosing the path of war.
Raging. Oh my god.
Property would be damaged. The dogs, to be clear, the dogs would be fine.
The dogs did nothing wrong.
Property would be damaged.
I would be going to the guest room and not coming back.
I'd be pulling him out of his bed.
Getting out of there.
I would say,
Yeah,
you go to the guest room. Bring the dogs with you. They can sleep in the guest bed with you. I say, no. He says, fine, I'll move to the guest room. I said, I really want to actually spend time with you since my kiddo's out of town and we never spend time together. Let's both go to the bedroom and the dogs can have our bed. He says, no, it has to be just one of us because he wants the dogs to have one adult as a comforting presence and both have full access to the bed. I hate your husband, bro.
I literally hate your husband.
This is unbelievable. Around this time, the dog that sleeps on the floor somehow moved himself off the bed to the floor. My husband notices and instantly freaks out, asking if I made the dog get off the bed. I said no. He then says I should leave. I'm insane. He wants a divorce, and they will always be more important to him. He slept holding them so gently. Does this guy just have like
This is insane. What is this dude gonna do when these dogs pass away and you realize that your wife is gone?
This has to be a byproduct of some kind of trauma, right? Like this is a trauma response, right? Like he absolutely he can't this isn't right. This is abnormal. This is
a little bit
over
insane.
the line.
Well over the line.
Way over the line. You would need a telescope, like Hubble-style telescope, to see the line at this point. And yeah, the marriage is over now. He just threatened divorce over the dogs. The marriage is over. That's insane. Honestly, as soon as he says he's saving the dogs over your daughter, the marriage is over.
Yeah.
So, this is the story of how I'm sitting upstairs trying to figure out how to pack my stuff and leave to spend Christmas alone because I'm worth less than 2 dogs. Oh, and it's storming outside, and there's a second update.
Yeah, I got no more thoughts right now. Your husband sucks.
The only reason that this could ever possibly make any sense is if these are canonically accurate Air Bud dogs. If this dog won the high school championship game with a buzzer beater from half court and knows how to play volleyball, how many Air Bud sports are there?
A lot.
So a lot of airbuds.
Probably horseback riding.
A dog on a horse? I'd pay good money to see that. I'd pay good money to see that, boy. Shee! I'd pay at least a week's wages to see that dog ride that horse.
To see a dog on a horse?
Yeah, I'd pay 25 cents. In this context,
Hey,
it is...
You can't release that information.
What?
You can't release how much you make in a week.
25
No,
cents a week.
in this context, this is like back
you can't
in...
be out here saying this
This
stuff.
is back in like the 1800s.
You can't be saying you make 25 whole cents. I'm only making 18.
Yeah, well, you should have thought about that.
Because I'm a woman.
Yeah, and it's the 1800s. You guys hear they're bringing the dog and horse show into town today?
You know what I'd love to hear?
Yeah. The actual reason I haven't left my husband is I feel too guilty because I think he's autistic. Am I the a-hole?
Wait, what?
What?
Can you read that sentence again, please?
Don't make me read it again. Okay? The actual reason I haven't left my husband is I feel too guilty because I think he's autistic. Am I the a-hole?
What?
Dude, where did that come from?
What? That's your only sole
That's how you're trying to,
reason?
like...
On
OP
a-
continues.
Your husband?
On a maybe?
Someone
There's no redemption
commented
there.
on one of the posts saying they think he's, quote, 100% autistic. One of my close friends is autistic, and I've learned a lot from them. I'm fully aware there's a spectrum, and I used to be a terrible anti-vaxxer and then saw the light.
What?
And now
What
speak
is this?
at events against ableism.
What?
Where did this come from?
Girl, this excuses none of his behavior.
What?
I am constantly grateful for my autistic friends. My husband has never been diagnosed as autistic. I have ADD and am medicated, and they think I have auditory processing disorder. I have PTSD and anxiety as well. I've always wondered if he was autistic because the things he's said to me make me wonder, like maybe he doesn't realize his obsession with his dogs to the point of loving them more than me isn't normal. He's very sociable and has a group of friends he plays D&D with, is outgoing with strangers and can strike up conversations easily, has a wide variety of interests, a degree in journalism with a creative writing style, is incredibly intelligent, has high emotional IQ, and connects with others easily. But every time he says something mean, like he loves his dogs more than me, I think, what if he's undiagnosed autistic and doesn't know he's hurting me?
Why do you think that autistic people are just mean? Why is that where we're going with this?
What?
Why are we like, yes, every time he's an a-hole to me, it must be autism?
What is your reasoning, OP? That's it? Yeah, SCZ. Just because he's obsessed with his dogs doesn't mean he's autistic.
Selective autism? He's just like fully like, well,
She's
it's only
selecting it.
only when he's mean to me do I think he might have autism.
Girl. What?
OP, I think you're reaching.
Also,
Really, truly reaching here.
okay, Billy time, don't think I didn't see you make that comment that said the whole dog and pony show. That was really funny.
I didn't see it.
Yes, I saw it.
Yeah, it could mean
This
again,
is just going...
Yeah.
This
okay,
has gone off
regardless,
the rails
sure.
entirely.
Say that he is, and that's where the obsession of the dogs come in. That
Perfectly
doesn't
fine.
excuse the fact that he's being like, yeah, I literally don't love you,
He
and
said
I
he
want a
would let
divorce.
your daughter die instead of his dogs.
Yeah.
What?
That was just a weird update.
It's weird.
What if he's undiagnosed autistic and doesn't know he's hurting me? I'm sorry, that was gross.
What was that?
What was that? Did you just puke a little?
Someone clip
No!
that. Someone,
No!
someone clip that, please.
You have never made that noise?
Not the way you did it.
It wasn't just like I made that noise. It was the way you kind of like jolted with it. I thought you puked a little. I'm sorry. You guys caused this. I immediately got rage baited.
Ew, don't do it again. Just read the story.
Are you trying to make it happen? No.
No, I'm not. I had to swallow my snarf.
Snarf?
You're what?
You're snarf?
What is this? What is that?
You're trying to inhale
Guys.
snarf?
Guys,
A
Guys,
snot.
just
Ew, a
let me-
snot barf?
just
Is that what you... What is it?
No, just read the story.
it's so unfortunate that does sound like a combo of those two things in the context of this. Just stop. Stop it.
Keon!
What do you want
Stop.
me to do?
Stop it. SCZ does say autism is a spectrum, though. Not everyone will show the same symptoms.
Yeah, no.
He says very off-the-wall things that hurt me and are not at all socially acceptable and genuinely acts like he doesn't see the harm.
I think your husband doesn't like you.
Then he'll say things like calling me a parasite.
Girl!
Infuriating. Everyone can't stand me and no one likes me. When I tell him he's making me cry, he tells me I cry all the time and that he's just giving me a reason to get it over with.
I think your husband doesn't like you.
I think your husband just hates you, dude.
I don't think that's
Yeah.
autism. I think it's putting it out there. He really doesn't like you.
Today, he told me not to be around him because it's impossible for him not to verbally abuse me because I make him have to.
Excuse me?
Angie's jaw dropped. I heard it drop. The fact I heard that drop from all the way over here is crazy.
I am doubling, tripling, quadrupling down on my previous comment.
Yeah, girl, I need you to stop saying that your husband's autistic and that's the reason that he's like this. Your husband just hates you.
Whenever I stand up for myself and say no, I'm done, he breaks down and needs me as if I'm a mother abandoning her child. He spent
Boo-hoo.
34 years of his life at home until we married last year. What if there was enmeshment and that's not his fault? What if he was never mentally allowed to grow up? Why did we marry a man who had lived at home for 34 years? I'm sorry. Why did we? Maybe we should have waited a little bit longer to find out that he says stuff like, you're a parasite and everyone hates you and I have to talk to you because you make me. He's got a complex.
On top of that, he
He's-
loves his dogs more than you.
He's clearly got a lot wrong, and maybe it's not all his fault, but it's not your responsibility to deal with and put up with forever. But you should put up with the fact that you can listen to full episodes with stories like this forever on your favorite podcast platform, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Just search OK Storytime, and you can listen all day and listen all night and listen some more, and it's all gonna be all right. Man, your husband is not cut out for this.
It started with the dogs, but boy, what the hubby doing?
Started with the dogs. And I know these dogs aren't Air Bud, because Air Bud would never associate with a man so stinky.
Airbud would never.
Air
Let's
Bud would
get
never
that
do
so
this.
clear.
And Air Bud's a busy dog.
Airbud
Rest
would
his soul.
never.
I feel so sad for him that I feel like I can't divorce him because he's mentally either been mistreated through
Oh my
enmeshment or is
God.
insecure due to undiagnosed autism.
Stop it.
People keep asking me
Girl.
why on earth I won't leave him. I don't want to leave him alone in this possible diagnosis and possible childhood trauma. I'd also feel so guilty if I walk away. That's why. I do love him, but I love my daughter more, and I don't want her thinking this is okay. I know what I need to do, and I have to go through with the divorce. My heart is just aching and hurting for him. I'm posting this because I genuinely need insight to maybe help me gain perspective as I move forward. And that is the end of that story. I think you need to stop diagnosing people with autism.
I really OP was so you were being like, I'm an advocate for autism, blah blah blah, blah. You're giving it a terrible name if this is what we're
Aligning it with.
aligning it up with.
There's got to be good, right? There's got to have been you had to have had good times, right?
I'm just
There had to
sure,
have been.
maybe he is on the spectrum. Him being the absolute worst human to you is not because of that.
Not an excuse either.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't imagine actually I did do this hypothetical once with an ex, and I was like, who would you save, me or 100 squirrels?
From what situation?
Do I know
And
this
there-
ex?
Yeah, and
Of
there
course I know
and
this.
there
I know
was
exactly
a
which
moment
ex.
of hesitation, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
I know exactly this ex.
And
I
they
know
were
this
just
one?
like, "It's just that it's 100's a lot," and I'm like, "I'm a
They're
person."
squirrels.
And squirrels are their favorite animal, and I was like,
Yikes.
how are you gonna hesitate? And they were just like, I don't know. It's just like I didn't expect to have to sacrifice 100 of them. And I was like,
What about 99?
and they were like,
you
yeah,
know?
of course I would pick you. I couldn't say it right away because I imagined it happening, and it was really sad. But yeah, I stayed for a while. Yeah.
No comments.
Actually, now that I think about it, no, when was that? I don't know when that was.
He's actually broke up because of that.
No, I think that happened a little later in the timeline. But yeah, it definitely wasn't. It didn't sound evil. This one sounds evil. This one sounds like he's like, yeah, and I would let you fry to a crisp while I stood outside with my dogs and gave them treats. Because why should I save a parasite and their offspring? It's like, okay, well, I think I'll be finding the door now. What? Yeah.
Yeah, divorce your husband.
That was
and-
not the tone of my hypothetical conversation.
But that was the end of that story.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I still don't create the perfect system.
Yeah.
My husband lied about cross-dressing.
Caesar and balsamic?
This started when I found women's clothing that wasn't mine. Oh, I already know where this is going.
Oh, so he's like, no, babe,
He's like, I'm not cheating on you. I'm into
I
cross-dressing.
like wearing ladies' clothes.
You
That's
can't be
all
mad.
it is.
And at the time, I thought my husband, David, was cheating. I confronted David, and the explanation was that it wasn't an affair, but cross-dressing.
That's fine.
David had photos that backed that up and said it wasn't a spicy thing or something done in public.
Something done in public.
He said he was sorry for hiding it and that fear of my reaction was what led to it. By the way, this comes from anonymous 8311 27 88 92 3. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKstorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Dakota.
And I'm Keon.
And we're here to give you good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we'd do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, I honestly was not bothered about David wanting to cross-dress in private sometimes. I mean, why can't he do it in public?
Because it's
Weird.
embarrassing. No, I'm just kidding.
Wait, I'm just... I offered to buy clothes or makeup or give advice on dressing like a woman.
Well, I mean, maybe I take it back. Sometimes it could be, sometimes it is embarrassing to let it's not that the act itself is embarrassing. It's that sometimes it's embarrassing to be yourself around others, Not that that's how it should be, but it can definitely feel that way,
I see what you're saying.
Like, go try to just, dance in public with music in your headphones and see how
I think
long it
it'd
takes
be-
before you're uncomfortable.
Yeah, I'm more so looking at, OP being, I'm fine with but it might just be...
It's
she's
hard to
trying
do stuff when
yeah.
you inevitably will have people looking at you being like, that's wrong. That's wrong. And you shouldn't be doing that. That's wrong.
I can honestly say I didn't care and was not upset. But I found out that David lied about it not being spicy related or something done in public, because there had been meetups with other women and men to have spicy sleep while cross-dressing. So he didn't lie about the cross-dressing part. He just both had an affair and was cross-dressing.
There's a lot of layers to this little lasagna we got cooking right now.
Yikes. Yeah, him wanting to wear dresses and things is totally fine. Him cheating on his wife, terrible. David's excuse after I found out about the lie was not wanting to subject me to it, and that even after I found out and was supportive, it would have been too degrading and disrespectful to me. You're right there, bud. You're right there. David was not sure about his spicy orientation or gender identity when I asked, but he admitted to meeting at least 36 other men and women for spicy sleep since the cross-dressing started, even after I was supportive, and said I would be okay with spicy sleep during it. Wow. You are incredibly supportive. So not only were you obviously I'm fine with you wanting to dress how you want to dress, but also I'm fine with you sleeping with other people so that you can find out your identity. Wow. And he
Supportive.
he still cheated on you?
What's the sturdier dish, a lasagna or a moussaka?
What?
Isn't that like the Greek version of lasagna?
What does that have to do with this?
Because we're building there's a lot of layers.
Oh, okay, got you.
We're building, and now I want the more support, because there's a lot of support going on from OP. So what kind?
I have no idea.
What kind of dish are we cooking up here, folks?
I've had to go and get tested because David didn't use protection while having spicy sleep with any of these strangers. Immediate divorce.
No, now it's
Immediate
a rotten
divorce.
lasagna. No.
Immediate. I mean, obviously it was divorce before, but faster. Go faster. Mostly I'm heartbroken that David went behind my back, lied even after I was supportive, and is now trying to act like it's a mystery as to why I'm filing for divorce. And who cares about what he thinks? We were trying to conceive, and all this was going on too. I feel heartbroken and sick. I love David, but there is no way our marriage survives. No, there isn't. I never thought I would ever be divorced, but I guess everyone thinks it will never happen to them. I haven't told anyone why yet. I'm going to, but until then, you all get to be the first. And comment 1, David needs never mind, OP, leave him. David is a manipulative liar who thinks having spicy sleep with other people because he's too nervous around you makes him seem better. David lied twice, and not only did you have to catch him, but he lied. Had you not found those clothes, you would never have known, and you could have ended up with an STD that could have unalived you years later, because he didn't think to tell you that he was having spicy sleep with strangers instead of his own wife, which he lied to because he was oh so nervous, and instead of telling you the entire truth the first time, he acted on compulsive lying behavior and kept it all from you until you finally got the truth out of them. Divorce. Good luck, OP. And there is an update, but do you have any thoughts for OP?
Sorry.
Yeah. That's just, for OP to have been the most supportive partner and then just get this in return is terrible.
Yeah, I thought we had a lasagna turn into a big pile of sloppy Joe.
Yeah, mud pie. But there is an update.
Man.
What?
Sorry.
Update.
I was just thinking of the skit from I Think You Should Leave. I was just
Not familiar. Anyway, 2 years later, it ripped me apart. I couldn't stay after finding out David had cheated with so many people and couldn't even remember how many there were.
That's crazy.
That's even worse.
That's pretty problematic. Almost as problematic as Kim Fine's comment. And I'll just let that one. Good job, Kim.
Rough. At first.
Literally.
Rough. Rough? Rough like a dog? Yeah. Yes, she did it.
At first, when everyone found out David cheated on me so many times, I had a lot of support. When David started living full-time as a woman and started seeing a therapist to deal with having to hide that, a lot of the support dried up. You really find out who your friends are when something like this happens. 12 years of knowing David was a lie. I got lots of heat for not supporting David and for leaving. That's ridiculous. You were so supportive. Every time
you were
someone
rolling
said,
in a strange circle if that's the case, for real.
Yeah. I'm sorry. If everyone said, "Oh, you didn't support it," I'd be like, "I'm sorry. What did he tell you? What did she say?"
Yeah,
because,
what yeah, for
yeah,
real.
because I was incredibly supportive of her. 12 years of knowing David was a lie. I got lots of heat for not supporting David and for leaving. It hurt, but the upside is that I know who my true family and friends are, even if most people supported David over me. I filed for divorce in December of 2022, and it was finalized 6 days ago because David didn't want a divorce and tried to stop it while seeing other people still. It was finalized 6 days ago, a day after our anniversary. I'm over it now. I moved away from Vancouver and I have a new job and know who my real family and friends are. There were some nice comments on my last post, which I appreciated so much. Comment 1 says, cheating is still cheating, regardless of whether someone is exploring to find themselves. Yes, you are absolutely allowed to, need time to figure out who you are. But if you're in a relationship, then you have to communicate that or leave that relationship. It is not fair to your partner. It's a marriage, and they should be sharing that with you and not using their confusion for trash behavior. Good luck to you as you move forward. And there's another update 3 years later. But
I hope it's like
I'm doing
you're
well.
living a new life, and David reached out and was like, I was so far out of line for doing that and also expecting you to be okay with it.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, and I don't expect your forgiveness. I just wanted to say that.
Yeah. Like David I'm going to use their, because we don't know what pronouns David goes by now.
I'm just going to say David.
Yeah, David or their. But David using their transition, like weaponizing it against you with your guys' mutual friends and making you seem like the bad person when all you've done is support. And then, I don't know, just like justifying David's cheating with their transition is wild. Update 3 years later. This will be the last time I post about this because I want to move on. I am divorced and I have a new life, and that part of my life is over. To give a short recap of my last post, I found out my ex-spouse was into cross-dressing. I was told it was a personal thing behind closed doors, and I honestly didn't mind having it in our bedroom. However, it turned out my ex-spouse cheated on me with more men and women than could be counted. When I filed for divorce because of the cheating, my ex-spouse came out as transgender. People turned on me when my ex-spouse came out, even if they were initially supportive after finding out I left because of the cheating. Again, I don't understand how they could know about the cheating and then take away their support.
Because they are weirdo Vancouverans, and they can be weird where to be clear, I don't think all people in Vancouver are weird. I just remember they said that's where they were from. So these were just weirdos in Vancouver is what I'm trying to say.
I didn't understand that.
I immediately realized, I was like, wait a minute.
Wait.
That sounded like I was saying all of Vancouver is weird.
Oh, clip it.
You just had weird.
He just said it. He said it.
No, but clearly whoever you were rolling with, if they were like saying you were the bad guy in this situation, what?
You really find out who your friends and loved ones are when something like this happens. It ripped me apart inside to first lose my ex-spouse and then have everyone else abandon me. My divorce took a long time because my ex was transitioning, and also because the divorce was only wanted on my part and not theirs. My update is that we are now divorced, but more than 5 months after the divorce, my ex-spouse has asked me for another chance to rekindle the relationship. No.
What?
No.
What do you mean? I know I cheated on you dozens of times.
I know I cheated on you, but would you reconsider?
Is there any way you can look past that?
My ex wants to give things another go, even after admitting to cheating on me with more women and men than I could count. I had to threaten to get a restraining order to make my ex leave me alone. After I found out about the cheating, I moved to a new city, found a new job, and started rebuilding my life after being abandoned by pretty much everyone. I left Vancouver and moved to another part of the province to start over. I didn't want to get pulled back into my old life after my ex destroyed me and shattered my heart. I want to thank everyone who supported me in the comments and was kind. It helped more than I could tell you, especially since everyone I was close to in real life seemed to abandon me. But we would never abandon you because you can listen to full episodes of stories just like this on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio. Just search up OK Storytime.
Oh my God.
There is a little bit left to this story, but I'm so sorry, OP. To go through all of that, being the most supportive person and partner, and then to have this response.
I just had the craziest thought.
What?
I mean, I think Canada made it hate speech prosecutable, right? Like very, very prosecutable, I believe.
Uh-huh.
What if all of your friends were literally worried that if they spoke out against this person, that it could be used against them in court, and that's why they couldn't support you?
No, that's a conspiracy theory.
That's a huge conspiracy, but they would have messaged OP on the side and be like, hey, I'm with you. Just like,
I support
That would be crazy.
I support your rights, but I don't support your wrongs.
That'd be crazy.
That would be a conspiracy theory. But there's a little bit left. One other thing I wanted to note is that I have absolutely no problem with transgender or attracted to the same gender people. None at all. I wasn't trying to dead name my ex-spouse in my other posts. I was just using the same name throughout so it wouldn't be confusing. The name I picked when I made my first post was a fake name anyway, and not my ex's real name. I didn't mean to offend anyone. I know some comments and messages I got sent were angry at me for that, but it wasn't my intention. I also used the name instead of pronouns to make it less confusing. It was never my intention to hurt or upset anyone.
It's crazy that this person cheated on you dozens of times, and there's people worried about you using a fake name.
Well, that's the thing.
And dead naming them.
Well, I feel like that's
crazy.
how OP is.
That's crazy to me.
I think that's how OP has been treated by their friends too. It seems like everyone is making this more of a OP's ex's transition the main focus when OP has never been anything but supportive, except when they were cheated on. And everyone's like glossing over that. And I think that's super unfair because OP's still clearly giving this person like a lot of, I don't know, just like support in who they are, even in how they write it, and yet is dealing with being betrayed. And everyone else is focusing on something, focusing on how, I don't know, her ex's experience. And that's really tough. Comment 1, I'm having a hard time understanding why your friends and family would turn on you for leaving someone who so brazenly betrayed you. A gender identity crisis is not a license to cheat on your spouse, and it's crazy anyone would think you'd have any fault in that. You had the rug pulled out from you in the harshest way possible, and those people should have been there to support you. I'm sorry you went through that. And that is the end of that story. Yeah. I'm so sorry, OP.
Wow.
Yeah. You're not at fault here.
Wowzers.
But that's the end of that story, and we've got another one.
My husband's coworker ruined many marriages, including mine.
Get out of my life!
And this comes directly from the r/OK Storytime subreddit.
Oh boy.
So my husband, 36 male, works for a large construction company well known in the U.S. So I, 35 female, am going to try to make this as anonymous and short as possible. By the way, this comes from user Simple Advance 9001, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit where this story was submitted. I'm Dakota.
I'm Sophia.
I'm Keon.
And we are here to give you good advice, goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do. So if you would do something different, let us know in the comments. And OP says, some backstory. My husband, Michael, was working on a job that was honestly amazing because the workers and their families all moved to the location of the job, and it became like our own little community. There were tons of family days or evenings at the job site and company gatherings, as well as girls' night once a month or so, where all the women and wives, since there aren't many women in this field, would have dinner and do a fun activity. So needless to say, we were all very close and knew each other well. This will be relevant later. Anyways, an awesome perk of his job is that subcontractors will take them on trips like fishing, hunting, and other things like that, which is great because the SOs sometimes get to tag along. Now, to the situation in question at hand. About 3 years ago, my husband, 33 at the time, and about 5 other guys were invited on a weekend fishing trip in another state. Females were invited as well, which was very usual, so nothing odd there, but only one decided to go. And that is odd, considering that there was now only one female employee, 27, Jan, who asked to tag along. Usually, if at least 2 women aren't going, none will go. Still, she went with 5 married men that are all in positions above her, but whatever. We were all very close, and she had her own room, and she likes to fish, so no big deal. I agree. On its face, I agree that that is no big deal.
Yeah.
Well, needless to say, Michael messed up and got wasted, and he ended up making out with Jan in her room one night.
Oh, that big deal.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
That's a big deal. Her liking to fish, not a big deal. Her making out with Michael, big deal. Who's Michael again?
Husband.
OP's husband?
Yes.
That's
Big
what I
deal.
thought. I was
Very
hoping
big,
not,
very
though.
big deal.
Oh, boy.
They continued to text for about a month.
Oh,
and of
no.
course, Jan is his coworker, and he gets texts and calls all the time. So Michael had no reason to hide his phone from me, and I had no reason to check because it was work. When I finally got really suspicious of his behavior, I checked his phone while he was sleeping and found the text thread from Jan. I know they were flirting, but honestly, I don't remember everything. Of course, I'm not stupid, so I said nothing to him until after I messaged Jan and got her side of the story. That way, they had no time to come up with a story together since he was still asleep at the time. That's in the past and an entire story in itself, but we went to counseling, etc., and now we're better than ever. Well, in the messages I received from Jan, she informed me that this kind of thing happened all the time since she's a female in a male-dominated field, and a lot of times men will take her being polite as an opening. Of course, I called her out on that, considering she was 100% flirting with my husband, and she knows he's married, and she's even watched our kids before. Needless to say, she has clearly had issues or situations like this in the past at different jobs, if that was her first line of defense. So fast forward a few months, and there was another event that only 4 workers and their significant others were invited to. I started chatting with one of the other wives, Pam, 34, about Jan and the whole situation with my husband. Well, she informed me that her and her husband, Jim, 35, almost got a divorce because of freaking Jan.
Jan,
Jan.
stop it. Jan's going around to different fishing holes, and she's casting her line into other people's fishing holes. Stop it. Stop it.
Who are you? Who was that?
Oh, I don't
Who
know.
was this fishing hole character who
I
made an
don't know.
appearance?
Stop casting your line. You're a nice little lady.
Clarence?
Thomas?
Clarence Thomas? Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas?
Stop casting your line.
Okay. She was texting him every day, sending him pictures, asking how she looked.
You look the same.
You look like Jan. I assume her name is Janice. It should be Jameen.
It's so
Because she's
true.
being Jarude. Jarude. Okay. That went off the rails. Clarence Thomas, bring it home. Ah,
You
nice.
know.
A,
Get out of
Clar-
my
a
pond.
classic Clarence Thomas grunt. Love that one. Okay. She was texting him every day, sending him pictures asking how she looked, just very inappropriate things to be saying to a married superior. Should Jim have shut it down? Yes, but that's not the point at the moment. So I proceeded to tell Pam all about what happened on the fishing trip. And another one of my husband's coworkers, Oscar, overheard and yet didn't seem surprised at all. Oscar also hinted that this was an ongoing thing with Jan, and yet no one will report her because Jan only seems to do this with her superiors. I mean, I'll give it to her. At least when Jan does this, she makes sure it's with someone who could easily get fired if she made any reports, or who would get reprimanded themselves for getting involved with a worker that reports to them. Well, once the job they were all on together ended, everyone got sent to different job sites again. And I thought that was that. And we were done with Jan. But I was wrong. Now fast forward to this year, and my husband informed me that he might be getting a promotion earlier than we expected because the employee that was supposed to be getting the promotion next was having a years-long affair with Jan. She knowingly had an affair with a married man with young kids, and it just blows my mind that still no one has reported her. This all came out within the past month or so, and it has really pissed me off that she continues to wreck marriages and families, and no one will say anything to HR. She is obviously not the only one to blame here, but I mean, come on! Yeah, I really think we need to be spreading the blame around to everyone involved.
Yeah.
Why are all of these married men
Having
locking
affairs
lips
with
with
Jan?
Jan?
Oh, married man.
Stop hooking up with Jan. Stay in your ponds.
And if you're just feeling like you want to stay in your pond, don't forget that you can always listen to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to your favorite podcast platform, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and search OK Storytime.
Well, my final thought is that Jan's a stinky lady, and honestly, someone's got to report her, and then get all of these other superior guys fired too. Take them all out in one go.
Yeah, I commend you for working through that and then being okay with him still working at the same company.
Yeah, he
It's,
cheated on you.
it's a lot to ask for.
He did cheat on you.
And we have a little bit more. Let's finish this story. My best friend said that I should anonymously report her to HR at headquarters, but my husband said to just leave it. The thing that baffles me is that she isn't even getting promoted or special privileges out of any of this, and she's actually amazing at her job and doesn't need to sleep her way to any opportunity. I'm almost positive Jan and the promotion past employee stopped seeing each other once his wife found out. I'm not out for revenge, but I just don't want to see her get sent out to another job and continue to destroy families. So should I report her or stay out of it?
I think you lied to me. I don't think Michael is the husband. I think you lied to me. I think you're a bold-faced liar. You're a flea-faced liar.
Some backstory. My husband, call him Michael.
Okay, then why? Wait, then I am genuinely confused because your husband said you should just leave it. Of course he said that. He cheated on you.
They worked through it.
But like obviously he would be the one to say, "Yeah, just leave it." Cuz he would be in trouble.
Well, it sounds like if this
I don't
ball
know if
starts
you
to
have
roll
full-
down the hill, the entire office is going to end up
Single.
imploded.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna be dating her.
I think maybe this comes from, if you've worked through it, more of a place of
You
don't
gotta
say
work
anything
somewhere
because I'm
else.
afraid I'll lose my job.
Yeah.
And then that means bad news for us.
I don't know. I think that you need to work somewhere else. You can't be
I would
working
say,
with
yeah,
Jan.
that you should definitely be looking for a job opportunity in other places.
Yeah.
1,000%.
Yeah.
We have some comments. So your husband cheated and his coworker was also engaging in talks with her outside of work, yet this is all her fault? How about you tell your husband to keep it in his pantaloons? He's the married one. He should be saying no if he cared so much about keeping his family together. Same with the other coworker. They are all grown men. It is up to them to make their own choices, good or bad. Maybe you should report your husband for being the homewrecker since he's the one who made the choice to wreck it. Reply says, I have a feeling she might be one of those partners who constantly forgives her husband's cheating and constantly blames the other girl instead of the real bad guy, her husband. Comment number 2. You can try to report Jan if you want, I guess, but if you're staying with your husband, how long until he meets the next Jan? She sucks. I don't F with girls who knowingly sleep with taken men and wouldn't be friends with her. But in that same vein, I wouldn't be married to a cheater. She can't wreck a home that your husband doesn't allow her into. That simple. Jan didn't happen to these men. They chose to cheat with her.
Especially because they were all her superiors. One, they shouldn't be having any sort of relationship with her, even if they weren't, in marriages. But they are in marriages, so it's doubly bad.
It's just all bad all around, all the
Yes.
time. All bad, 100% bad.
I really don't
Hard
understand
to
how.
win.
The only thing I just don't understand how you could report Jan without getting your husband in trouble.
Yeah, that's
Because your
that's
husband
my
was,
point.
yeah, your husband was a major part of that because he cheated on you.
Well, I don't know how major. It says they made out. There's other people who I'm sure have done a little bit more than that.
No,
But-
yeah, my
but
point is
cheating
a
is
major part
cheating.
of that relationship because he was half of it.
Right.
Half,
But
takes two to tango.
exactly. Your husband will probably also lose his promotion when you say they had an affair. And the reply to this is if your husband got the promotion because the other man had an affair with Jan, HR almost certainly knows about it now. It's not really your business to report an affair she had with someone else's husband, especially since you don't work there.
Also,
you better
just
keep a close. Yeah.
just kind of hypocritical, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you did just need to get away from this
I
situation.
think you need to leave.
It's probably the best for your
Yeah,
relationship.
if you want to work on your relationship, then you have to get out of here. You could tell the wife, I don't know if reporting it to the to the company would be good.
You'd better keep a close eye on your husband after the promotion, though, and if she crosses the line with him again, then you have some standing to address the situation with your husband's company. A third comment says, reporting her is going to open the door to question your husband and other male workers' professionalism and interactions with her, especially considering she was often the only female coworker and they were all her male superiors. She may be a home wrecker, but you are trying to ruin her life and making other families collateral damage in the process. Your time to speak up expired when you took your husband back?
I
That's
don't
the
think
end of that
that's
story.
necessarily true, but I do think
I think it's time to get out
I
of
think
that
you need to leave that
town.
place.
Get out of town and find a brand new job.
Yeah.
Get
I
out of
think
there. Because, I mean,
Jan
hey, if
was-
you've worked through it with your husband at this point, you've done
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
We take you at your word for that. You've worked through it, and
But,
things are
yeah.
fine now. But
Yeah. I just don't
you
understand. Yeah.
can't continuing to work. It blows my mind that if y'all did work through it, part of that wasn't, and we're finding a new place for you to
Yeah.
work.
It just feels like everyone is like you and
Jobs don't grow on trees, though.
other people are blaming Jan as this kind of seductress when she is a sucky person who has having affairs with married men, but the married men are having affairs with her.
Right. Everyone
Like,
in this
these two
situation
people
is
are
choosing
consenting-
to
yeah.
do these things.
Exactly.
It's
Like
not
she's
just a
awful, but it's
one-sided
not like you
thing.
can go and report her and be like, she's having an affair with these married men. It's like, no. All of the men would be caught up in that, you know? They should all receive repercussions. So I think it's just reframing that.
But that is the end of that.
But that's the end of that story and the end of this episode. So if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you
And
see you tomorrow.